Hi, my dear Capricorns. Welcome to Lucy the Antigua Tarot. My name is Lucy, and it's great to have you visiting me again for your tarot spread reading for the month of July 2016. So let's take a look at it. Okay, my dear Capricorns. So here is your 9-card spread for the month of July 2016. So let's take a look at your cards. At the center, you have the 6 of Swords. Coming in, you have the 10 of Wands. And then you have the Devil. And then you have the 5 of Cups. In the second row, you have 2 of Cups. Beautiful card. The 6 of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. And at the bottom of your reading, you have the Moon, the 4 of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. So you have 3 major arcanas. No, excuse me, you have 2 major arcanas. You have the Devil and you have the Moon. Okay? And let's see, you have 1 Swords card. You have 1 Pentacles card, and then you have 2 Wands, very nice, and then you have 1, 2, 3 Cup cards. So let's take a look. Let's begin with your reading then, and we're going to start with your card at the center, which represents you. This is you right now. This is the energy that's most influencing you right now. And this card is talking about transitions, moving, physically moving, okay? Getting on with your life, healing, transformation. Beautiful card. That's what's going on here at the center, okay? You will find better work or more money if you expand your commute travel. If you maybe just travel a little bit more, you might find better employment. That's what this card is saying. Also, there could be an opportunity, but you'll have to relocate. So either way, it could be something really good for you guys. Okay, so it's all very positive. There's a transition going on in your life. You might have to move, and you're getting on with your life. You're healing. Transition and transformation. That is at the center of your reading, my dear Capricorns. You could be going through, transition, transformation, making changes, moving. Those are somewhat stressful times. It can be a time right now for you that's somewhat difficult. And the reason I think that some of the cards that are supporting this is the Devil, the 5 of Cups, the Moon, and the 4 of Cups. These cards right here are somewhat confirming this as being a turbulent time in your life. And what this card is also saying is to trust your instincts, because you're probably coming into a natural ending phase. Okay? It's an ending phase that's natural. It's just a natural thing to happen. So you could be somewhat unhappy, okay, because maybe you want to feel more appreciated. And you're probably feeling you want to be somewhere maybe where you'll be more appreciated, basically. So, but you do need to move on. And sometimes these kind of changes, though they're very difficult, from the beginning can be very positive later on in life. So that is what's coming, showing up at your center. Coming into your reading, you have the 10 of Wands. Okay, and this card is about being overburdened. You've been working a lot. You have a lot going on. Um, you've probably taken on a lot of work. It could be too much too soon for you, and it might make some sense since you are going through transformation, transition here, that because of those changes you need to deal with things that you generally don't deal with. So you're basically trying to take on more than what you can handle. Okay, so remember, nothing is really set in stone as to what needs to be done when. So you can alleviate the burden if you wish. So what it's advising you is to prioritize and organize your life in the things you need to do. That way you can do and take care of everything that is important to you in your life. If you prioritize and organize, you won't forget anything, and yet you'll take care of everything that needs to be taken care of eventually. Okay, so let's see. So this is a rough time for you. It might be inclusively connected to a relationship, though you do have the Two of Cups here. So, that's a really positive card. So let's just leave it like that for now, and let's move on to the Devil, which is your first major arcana that's showing up in your reading. And this card, this is dark forces. This is a dark card, dark energy. And it's, in the Kabbalah Tree of Life, it is positioned in the throat chakra. So this is a self-imposed slavery. Okay, the chains are self-imposed because, as you can see here, they can easily slip the chains off, but they choose not to. They are loose around their neck, hence the throat chakra. These chains can be easily removed. They don't need to be there. You don't need to be enslaved. But these two folks here in this image, they want to stay in their chains because they want to remain in their ignorance. Truth has been presented to them. It's been there, but they have rejected it. Therefore, they are ruled and they are owned. Okay, and this is the card that is coming at your center, my dear Capricorns. Now remember, this is a general reading. Okay, so that's just important to keep that in mind. But even so, this card is crowning your center, right? Your Six of Swords. You're going to be going through some transition. You might be moving. There's healing going on. There's transformation going on. But you're moving in a positive direction. But you have this Devil card up here, and you do have a lot of things that you need to take care of. And it's just telling you just to prioritize and organize. But you have this Five of Cups also crowning your reading. And this is an interesting card. It's been coming up a lot this month, this card. What we see here is we see cups, a river, a bridge, a fortress, and a man dressed in black, and he's barefoot. So I guess the most important thing to look at here right now are the cups, the three cups here in the front that are spilt. And if you can take a good look at that, you will notice that the contents that are spilt on two of the cups is the red content, which is wine. And the content that is spilled in the second cup, in the third cup, this cup right here, it looks like it's like a green content, and that is poison. So, foundations are being tested. Okay, there's a disruption going on. Okay, there's something's going on here that's disrupted your life, turned it topsy-turvy, upside down. So this is the card of revelation. It's revealing something to you because there's been an upheaval. Okay, so it's important to remember that though there are things in relationships that are good for us, there can also be components attached to a relationship that are not good for us, that are bad for us, or even damaging in many ways. And this is like a revelation for you, perhaps, right now. With the cups, we are working with our compassionate energy, with our feelings, with our heart. And it is about being compassionate. This card reveals that even though there are a lot of good things in a relationship, there are also some very unhealthy things, very toxic. Now that this has been revealed to you, that you have been in a toxic relationship, perhaps, this is a general reading, you still have these two cups standing behind you, which represent love and hope. Okay, these two cups back here. And you do have a bridge, a white bridge, so it's saying that the bridges haven't been burnt. You can still let go of this, cross over to the other side of this river, which is emotions, go over to the other side, and you're going to find love there. You're going to find love. You're going to find hope. Okay, you can still go to that other side. So this card, revelation, something that's been revealed about relationships or your relationship. So it's about learning from our experiences and identifying what is good for us, and what has fallen cannot be retrieved. Once it's fallen, it's over. You cannot retrieve it. You cannot recuperate this thing that has fallen. This relationship, perhaps. So maybe you were kind of, because this is codependency, the devil can also represent codependency, or behavior that is like toxic. It could be in relation to this relationship. Something happened in a relationship, which is, I'm not sure if it's a love relationship or if it's a relationship at work, somebody that you really cared about. But the thing is, I have a feeling it's love because you have the Two of Cups over here. So it could be related to a love relationship, my dear Capricorns, because you have this Two of Cups here. Okay, and a lot of people see this card and they think love relationship, but this card has a lot of meaning. This card is the symbol of health and growth. Okay, this is a card is coming from a divine force, all right, and it is a very positive card. So you could be connecting with someone on a spiritual level, creating something very powerful. Okay, and this someone, it can be anybody really that's come into your life or that has been in your life. Yeah, off in the distance you can see the green hill with a white house. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's right over here. See, there's that green hill and there's a little white house there. Okay, and you can also see in the Ten of Cups, you see the same White House with the 10 cups. So it's almost like it could be the beginning of a relationship or of something new or a new journey that's going to end up very positive. This could be the beginning of it. So this card is denoting friendship and the balance between two opposites. So it can be man, woman. It can be victory and lustful passion. Yeah. Sexual appetite. And why is that important? Why are they talking about this in this card? Because opposites, when you look at when you look at opposites, you are given, okay, when you look at these opposites, and you think of like, for example, like they said here, victory versus lustful passion, for example. Lustful passion, you are giving in to your lustful passions, and when you do that, you are not being victorious spiritually. So I think maybe this card, it goes beyond just a relationship between a man and a woman. It symbolizes health and growth. So to be victorious, you have to be victorious over your lustful passions, and that in that way you will find spiritual growth. What this card, what it's saying then is that you want opposite forces to work together. Okay, balancing these forces out. That's what it's talking about, because that's when you're victorious. Okay, and you can apply the same idea to friendship, and this card also is a symbol of friendship, making friends with yourself or different parts of yourself. It's about embracing opposites and seeing how two opposites can come together to create a lot of energy. There are two opposites in yourself, perhaps, that you need to learn to balance. Okay, and making friends with yourself in the process. Okay, loving yourself. But this card can also denote, in the final analysis, love and dating and marriage. Okay, so for you, because you have, and this is a general reading, but because you do have these very difficult cards over here, I believe that maybe this is in relation to your spiritual growth, balancing your opposites inside within yourself so that you can grow spiritually, because maybe this has had an influence in what has happened here. Okay, my dear Capricorns. You also have, on the other side of your Six of Swords, you have the Page of Pentacles. Okay, now with the page is a young energy, a young person, who is just starting out. Think of it as being in the springtime of your life. Okay, and if you're older, what this card might be saying to you, Capricorns, if you're an older person, which it could most likely be, this is like a very young person, you know, a very young adult or a teenage person. So what this card is telling you is that it's telling you to roll up your sleeves and just get out there and do it. Go with it. Okay, you have to get things done whether you enjoy it or not. So kind of tap into that young springy energy that maybe you remember and just realize that you've got to do these things. This is a very positive card. It's showing promise. It's the Pentacle, which is stability in the physical world, in the physical plane. And you can see here this beautiful spring field, and there's even, the earth is being, how do you say that? It's being planted because things are growing. So it's a promise of growth. Very positive. But you do have to kind of like get out there and do what needs to be done. That's what this card is saying. And it makes sense since you have these two cards right here. Okay, there's a lot to be done, and you are going through some transition, transformation, perhaps moving, and you might not be feeling, you're a little depressed maybe. Okay, maybe you're holding on to that depression way too much. That's what the devil could mean. And so this card is telling you really nice. You have these two great cards in your center through the transitional phase of what you need to do. You have these great cards accompanying you hand in hand. So it's very positive. Even though you have this energy coming in, crowning you, which is very intense, you do have these great cards accompanying you, guiding you, I guess we can say, through this journey that you have to take. Very spiritual, very enlightening. Change is hard, but you are going to learn so much. And you probably needed to go through this change, my dear Capricorns. Sometimes some changes are just inevitable, as much as we hate to see them coming and we don't want to accept the fact that things need to change. Sometimes it's for the best. Now, in the bottom you have the Moon and the Four of Cups, which are kind of like, a little intense, very emotional, kind of sad, kind of, energy. But then you have this beautiful Ace of Wands, which is full of promise. Look at all these little leaves sprouting out. It's just, coming out of the blue. And you have a barren terrain, but that just means it's there to build upon. Let me pull this up so you guys can look at it. You can build upon that terrain. It's not a brown deserty terrain. It kind of looks like fall. The trees are a little yellow, right? And this is a little yellow, and there's a little bit of brown, but it doesn't mean that you cannot expect to have what's right above it. See, this terrain here. So it's promising you that you're going to rebuild on a new foundation. I think that's what it's telling you here. Because you've had to let things go, and it's been hard, and it's kind of made you have to move. And so you're coming out of the reading for the month with this. And these two cards are awesome. Really awesome. You have three very awesome cards here. The Lovers, Page of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. But with this one, with the Moon, yeah, you're probably feeling emotional and a little bit confused. Yeah, well, that makes sense, Who wouldn't? Right? Losing something that was very dear. It only makes sense that you're going to feel emotional and confused, and you're probably thinking a lot about it. You might have already gone through, I don't know. This is coming in for the month of July, okay? So you're thinking too much about it. You're overanalyzing. So it's just kind of reminding you to understand where you're coming from and where you are going, which is a really nice thing to remember. Where were you coming from, and where were you going? And then you have to bring your actions in between that where you were coming from and where you were going. All the actions that you do in between those, it's going to connect the past to the present, and so it's going to help you perhaps get a little bit more focused. It's great advice in terms of, the journey, because you are feeling perhaps a bit confused about what to do next. So yeah, you're going through some emotional turmoil. It possibly could turn into something physical, so just take care. All right, take some rest. Make sure you get lots of rest. Take it easy. Try not to take on too much. See how these are right? Okay, love yourself, balance yourself out. Don't take on too much, and because you need to take care of yourself. Don't make any rash decisions, it's telling you down here with the moon. And take a break if you need to, right? Take some rest, because you want to make sure you're going to be okay. These kind of changes, letting go of things, is very hard, very intense, okay? So for you, you are getting the moon card, you are getting the devil card, you're getting these two very intense cards. So even though you have the positive stuff too, you've got this intense stuff going on there too. So seeking guidance, seeking somebody to guide and help you, this is really important, my dear friends. Try to find some guidance, okay? And also, kind of step back and look at the whole picture of everything that happened or what's going on. Step back and take a look at everything. Don't stay too focused on one specific thing, one specific action. Step back. Where were you in the past? Where did you want to go in the future? And what are you going to do? What you need to organize and prioritize, basically, right? Kind of take a look at everything. And there are going to be stumbling blocks whenever we start some new venture. Things come in that we stumble, that aren't the way what we thought was going to be. But deal with it, but don't stay focused on it, just on that, okay? You don't want to solve the problems by just focusing on that all the time and letting it really affect you, okay? It's also telling you, the moon, is to be patient, and things are going to unfold on their own. You will find the path that you need to take. Just be a little patient, deal with stuff you have to deal with, and changes will come. All right? And you do have here you have the Four of Cups. And this card could be saying that you're feeling a little bored with your status. Okay, your professional, social position, you're bored with that. So you might be feeling a little bit dejected, depressed, and sad. You're feeling unmotivated because life's become somewhat boring. Okay, so that is just, again, being a little confused here, what to do next. Yeah. You're kind of disappointed, and it makes sense, you had something going on here, and then all this stuff, you've lost something, you've had a revelation of something that's been toxic for you. So you might be feeling a little bit defensive, okay, about some things perhaps, which is also pretty natural for that to happen, considering you know, you've probably been through some intense stuff. You're getting some intense cards that are reflecting that, you know. So, yeah. So it's just telling you, okay, so just reevaluate your options. These two are kind of connected. Reevaluate your options. You might need some deep introspection. Okay, kind of look at things carefully. Don't make any hasty decisions. The examination and observation of one's own mental and emotional process is something, you know, that this card is advising. Kind of take a look at your mental and emotional process, your thinking process, you know. And it might help to do something, engage in an activity that you find really interesting. Okay. Something you can dedicate yourself to. A project of some kind that you love or that you find you believe it'll be really cool and interesting for you, and that it'll kind of fill out the time, give you something else to think about, and it'll help you kind of like get out of this mood thing that's going, this moon thing that's going on with you guys right now. All right. And then, like I said earlier, you're leaving your reading with this beautiful Ace of Wands. And this is about intensity. It's about powerful energies moving in your favor, positive transitions or new trends. So that's what I was saying. You know, this is a really positive, beautiful card. It's a promise of new beginnings, new foundations for new projects, for new things that you really love. And you are getting that card that you know, you're feeling bored, you're disappointed. Well, this is promising you a new love for life. And make sure that you are available, that you avail yourself to love. Your finances might be getting better. And just, you know, focus on your spiritual development, the balancing of mind, spirit, and body. And my dear Capricorns, that is your reading for the month of July 2016. Thanks for visiting me, and I will see you guys in August. See how things are going then. Bye bye.